Oh, hi. How you doing? Today I want to talk about some of the myths that surround AI. And in particular, I want to tackle five of the main myths that I hear. Now, the first myth is that AI is always fair and unbiased. Now, the thing is that the large language models are trained on data. They're trained on internet data. They're trained on things like X and Reddit. Do you think those are unbiased? It's people's opinions, it's what people think, it's what people are saying. Yes, it's extremely biased. Now, of course, if it has a wide range of information, those biases might get kind of washed out, particularly, but maybe they're not. And then you have something called reinforcement learning, which is where after the models have been trained, um, they're then asked questions, and people rate the answers to those questions to see if the models are well trained or not. Now, the thing is that if they ask a question and they get an answer, the human can actually then impart their biases onto the model by saying that's not a good answer or that is a good answer. So they can get even more biased. And so it's something that you have to be very cautious of. Now, the companies that train these models, they'll say, oh, yeah, we use a kind of wide range of different opinions, people with different opinions. But how can you be so sure? So, yeah, they probably are biased in some ways, and you might find different models biased in different ways. So that's why sometimes it's good to get kind of different opinions from different models. The second myth I want to talk about is that AI would take everyone's jobs. Now, that's an interesting one because AI can certainly help people become so much more productive, but would it actually allow it to take the job of a human being? Now, the main thing about AI, yes, it's very good in many ways and has a very good knowledge. It doesn't you know go to go on holiday. It doesn't get sick. It doesn't take bathroom breaks and stuff like that, of course. But the thing is, it doesn't really have much kind of memory of things. So think of it like that. Say you have a new employee comes in and it's an AI employee. So it comes in day one and you kind of show it kind of tasks it needs to be done. So it starts getting on with those tasks. You think that's great. Then comes in the next day and it'll be going like, where am I? Who am I? And you'll say, well, what about all those tasks, that you were getting on yesterday? He goes, what tasks? See the AI will kind of start afresh. Now there is things called context windows where you can send it in context from what it learned yesterday, but that's not really a kind of autonomous a person who just kind of gets on and does their job. So that's probably unlikely to happen. Now, what's going to happen is that rather than AI taking over whole jobs, AI will probably make people much more productive um, because of all the knowledge it has and how it can get on with things. So rather than saying that it's going to take people's jobs per se, it's going to make people much more productive. Now, what would that mean in terms of people working in jobs and stuff like that? What that's going to mean is that the number of people employed may go down. So rather than the AI taking your job, someone who's using AI and becoming much more productive may take your job. So the moral of the story there is to learn AI. And if you haven't started learning AI, I suggest you get on and do it. The third myth that I want to talk about is that AI will wipe out humanity and just kill everyone. This is a bit like, the Terminator movies where AI becomes self-aware and then just starts killing everyone. Now, if that was to ever happen, and who says it can actually happen in terms of AI becoming self-aware, becoming conscious, um, would it actually kill everyone? And so first of all, you've got to have AI becoming self-aware and conscious, which I'm not sure that can ever happen. It may seem like it's conscious when you talk to it, but at the end of the day, it's just trained on pattern recognition of words, and so it knows how to answer things. That's not really conscious. And even if it did become somewhat conscious, whatever that means, why would it start killing everyone? The fourth myth is AI is smarter than humans. Now, first of all, what's your definition of smarter? Now, you can have IQ tests, you can have tests of knowledge, of like history. Oh, when was this happening? What year did this happen? Now, AI is going to be pretty good on those sort of things because it has all that knowledge. But does that make it smart? Does that make it intelligent? Could it invent new things? And this is where the jury is out on that one. So in terms of smarter than humans, maybe not. But in terms of knowledge, in terms of having this access to knowledge very quickly, of course. Now, a human could actually access all that knowledge because it was trained on all the knowledge of the internet and it's all there. It's just hard to search and hard to find. So AI can find it better. So it can seem smarter in that way. But really, it's probably just more knowledgeable than most human beings can be within a certain time frame. And the fourth myth that I want to touch upon is that AI has a mind of its own. And actually, when you chat to these models, these large language models, which if you haven't done, you should chat to them, they're quite amazing. And sometimes it really does seem like they have a mind of their own. But actually, they're more like parrots in some ways. If you can teach a parrot to talk to you, it doesn't really know what it's saying. It's just kind of repeating words back to you. And often AI is like that in some ways. It's just kind of understands the language. It understands what words, kind of relate to other words, and it kind of knows how to answer. So in that way, yeah, it's not really got its mind of its own, but sometimes when you chat to him, I must say, it does seem that way. So yeah, I can understand why people think it has a mind of its own, but really it's not. So I hope that's helped you understand a little bit about the AI models and makes you feel a bit better about using them. So if you haven't started using them, I suggest you go out now and whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Grok or Claude or whatever, you should start using it, start chatting to it and see how it goes. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.